If you plan on celebrating and you know, drinking, you know, get yourself a designated driver. You know, call a tow company. Many of the cab companies offer free rides. You know, the bottom line is don't get behind the wheel of a vehicle if you've been impaired. Okay. In addition to the initiative, what we will be doing is the Harris County District Attorney's Office has said this is going to be basically a no refusal weekend, which means that if we pick up an impaired driver and they don't want to give a specimen of their breath, we will take that individual directly down to Reasoner, where they will do a mandatory blood draw to draw the blood from the suspect, and then they'll analyze the blood, and depending on what it comes out to be, they'll follow the appropriate charges. Well, on a normal DWI, they come and either they give a specimen of their breath or they don't. And there's normally nothing else you can do other than still file the DWI charge. But with the mandatory blood draw, what they do is they've got district attorneys people down at the intake, and they will do what's called an evidentiary search warrant to draw the blood from the individual. We tell them why we stopped them, explain our probable cause to them, and they'll do an evidentiary search warrant. They'll take it to a judge who will sign it, and then they'll have a nurse there that literally draws the blood, gives the vial to the officer. He takes it immediately to the medical examiner's office, and they do their analysis and you get a content. We're utilizing the resources of the Houston Police Department and the Department of Public Safety. You know, the BAT van, which will be in the field with the unit, so when they get an impaired driver, they will take them immediately to the BAT van to give the specimen of their breath. You know, and that'll cut down on the drag time as far as how long before you know, normally you arrest them and then there's a certain time period till you get them to the breathalyzer. Well, here it's going to be minutes.
We have an intoxilizer on board and a computer, so patrol units can bring their prisoners over here, or their suspects, and we offer them a breath test, and if they agree, then we have the intoxilizer to actually give them the breath test. This vehicle here, what it does is we go out into the community so that patrol officers and DWI task force officers have a place nearby that they can take their prisoners to and go back to doing what they need to do for patrol, rather than take them all the way down to central intox. Maybe they work out in Willowbrook. You get a prisoner out in Willowbrook, it's going to take you quite a while to bring them down to central. The camera where we can do the field sobriety tests out there. And then we also like to video them sitting there while we're reading them the DIC 24 warning, asking them to take a breath. So we have everything on video so they can't come back and say, you know, no, I meant to say no.
So there will be no wiggle room for these suspects when it comes to court, saying, you know, that it took so long, and you know, for a defense. And in addition to that, with the blood drawn, that's big in and of itself also. So there's not going to be very many options for these individuals if they get pulled over, you know, for as a suspected drunk.
What did you do?
That you know, Constable Hickman every year, you know, he is one of the you know, head law enforcement leaders that every year he puts out DWI units on the street to combat the problems that we have out here with drunk drivers. And you know, this is another example of that. The way we've got it set up with the Houston Police Department and Department of Public Safety, you're looking at minutes, and even downtown, you're looking at maybe 20-25 minute drive down there to get it done. And the deputies will have, we're going to be communicating with downtown on the suspect we're bringing in, so the paperwork's done when we get there. All they do is take the individual, they'll have the search warrant already done and the blood draw, and you know, hopefully maintain good cases on 2 or 3 drunk drivers off the street. That's huge. But we're anticipating taking a lot more. With the manpower we have on the street, and of course from a strategic standpoint, we don't want to say how many additional officers are out there, but I can tell you there's going to be quite a few out there.
That's a lot of security purposes.